Kurumzari. Impact News Ming Tabri Bupnamakpo Manung Hutna Taram Nokchari. Ngasigi Manung Hutna Kanagadoriba topic issue say Ngasi Ngarang Ahing Haitare, Ngarang Ahing da Hoigi cabinet ki decision namana Yamna Chawa Hoigi decision nama Lauro Matunda Inong Nona district taret Ngarang Kanosi create Togre Aduga Tauriba अखोई अनौब डिस्ट्रिक्ट क्रिएट तौबसे मसी करी मरमगिनो मसी हाना प्लान तौबजाला नत्रगना इखंग खंगौदबा स्टेप ओइबजाला अदुगा मसी तौरकपसिना करी कानहनगदोरी हाइबगी मतंगदुदा खन्नबगी तंजादुनि ngasi मनहुना लौजदोरिबा अदुगा इम्पैक्ट न्यूज दा खन्नबसिदा सरुक यानरब लेंशन बिरिबा गेस्ट सिंगै मियामग sak takjage on my extreme right is Lakpachui Siro convener forum for understanding Naga India conflict and human rights. Welcome you to the Impact News studio, and I appreciate your joining. And on his left side is I Hemochandra Singh, Revenue Minister, Government of Manipur, Tamo Hemochandra Pusu Taram Noksari. Aduga, Koigi Minister Hemochandra ki hek lepta Lenjin Beribashana, Dr. Nimachan Luang spokesperson Manipur BJP Pradesh ne Tamo Sutaram Noksari. Aduga igi hek yeta Pamin Najaribashana, Ilangbam Johnson ne President United Committee Manipur, I Oza Johnson Pusu Taram Noksari. My first question say, let me begin asking you, because you are just holding the very important portfolio revenue minister, and today's step is very much concerned with you. So my first question to you is it a kind of that what we call it administrative convenience, fully dependent on administrative convenience, or is it a kind of the just election is nearing, people are saying that the Congress is taking political mileage? Which one is?
I sum kumjage koi now saratna sai highway give the कोई मसी आमना प्लान हाना तौरगा तौरा नत्रगा सडनली तौरा नत्रगा कोई मसी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कनोगी तौरा हाइबा मा हौबदा हाइबी गी मदुदो इन लाक्चगे अखोई गी सी मसी इट इज अ वेरी इंपोर्टेंट अमरु ओइबा कोई डिसीजन अमनी अदु मसी हानदगी कोई मसी गी डिसीजन असी लौननबगी अखोई गी बैकग्राउंड मसी गी प्रिपरेशन अदुम लैबनी मसी कसु अखोई गी एदे हेता कनोदगी फुखाउदे एदे पुथोरगा खुदक तब तव पोट नते it has been discussed, it has been contemplated. Yamna kuiraba matamdagi koi masi government dasina sigi matter asi koi decision haib tare masi koi finally ngarang bude koi lawre adubu this has been going on for a long time aduga purely I once again categorically government ki side masi thamjebe on record that this has been done purely because of administrative convenience as I highway administrative convenience ki tawbani thoidona masi the political angle नत्रगना कोई उसी हाईवे रिवा इलेक्शन नक्सल लगपगी अदुगुमगी करी मतम अदुगी नॉट एन आयोटा मदुगी मरम लैते अदुगी मरमगी अदुगुमगी कंसीडरेशन द तौगिब नते प्योरली फॉर कोई एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कन्वीनियंस अदगी कोई फॉर डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन असी कोई रिवैम्प तौननबा अदगी मतम सांगना मसीगी कोई मयामगी पब्लिक की एस्पिरेशंस प्लस डिमांड्स मयाम कन्वीनियंस सु येंगा नमना मदुना सेंट्रल थीम ओइना तौगा तौजगी स्टेप अमन
थैंक यू उजनी मजनन हुजिक हाइबा कनो से मरुइना ट्रूली नसाइगी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कन्वीनियंस टू द तौबनी अदुगा मस्ता मस्वाइसदा पॉलिटिकल माइलेज लोबो इलेक्शन नक्सलपगी थोइदोपा लेइति हाइसि याबिरो दुरबरा नत्रगा कमाइ रिएक्शन तौबिनिंगे
मदुगी याबा यादबना तोगानबना हाजरको मेरिट एंड डिमेरिट मसी यामना चौबा ओवरऑल डिस्ट्रिक्ट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन की ओवरऑल अमने सी एक्सरसाइज याम चाउबा यामना इखंग खंगौदना सडनली लौरप डिसीजन मणिपुर की प्रजा अमदी अखोगी खरा खंग हैबा एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपीरियंस लेबा हाना पॉलिटिक्स यावरप खोलप मयाम जना खलुरगदी करी हाइतारे इथा थाजदबा अमा अखोगी मणिपुर दा डिस्ट्रिक्ट अनौबा की डिमांड तौरीबसी मरुइना जिरीबाम की अमा अदरगी सदरल डिस्ट्रिक्ट उचिंगना कांगपोपी हरजिनी सिगी अचौबा मोगी एस्पिरेशन अमदी मरम चाबा अदुदी कुइरे लेरिबा अदु अइना खनबददी अखोगी व्यूददी हनकी तौरिसे करी है तारे इन प्रिंसिपल एंड इन स्पिरिट अदुम फैन खले यायबा पॉलिटिकल हाइगद्रा नत्रगे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव convenience haigadra haiba adu sigumba achouba ma decision ama haidi hanagi demand tawdra lakpa Jiribam district hairo adagi Sadar Hill gi hana lor magdi madri praja gi concepta praja jingi wakhanda masidi maram chare khole habji kuire leinari je mogi maram char su kana gumba yabe government gi difficulty leidna khotna madugi thuna hek decision lobo yada ba khotaba kaya leibdra tongan borom thamurga ani sigi ti manipur prajana dum yaren khalle atai ji yai ai chengna da Thobal district ki manungda ki kakching di khaidu khibje kuirba dibani ahan ba Thobal district ki hangdring ida district Thobal leitring ida kakching gi chum hangbi tobi yu khopi hoibje adum demand layaba sumaina leibaduna handak tawre ibasidi aina khanbadadi kari hade government se tawphum lakphum khangdadna haiba tarene tawphum lakphum khangdadna haidi nahan government phajana akoi concept ani yamna acho wakhan lingba yamna bold decision loba ore Jiribam district sangagani harga heklep khigumba akoi intabdre di udi urudri signboard ji ega haiba adagi Sadar Hill district ki sangaga dore harga heklep khidaba Sadar Hill district su pi dagum taw Jiribam su pi dagum taw somda su blockade ame hek chathaba hujik thamaga say about 10 days yoksal abne ba praja si asyamno wahal se si yora kan sida government si tawphum lakphum khangak tadna khudak te hekta decision loba ma manbam di leiba karai bau chumi mo lalibu khangde akoi gi yengda maram di Manipur gumba state whole state kini handak se whole state involved do ribani Thobal district involved tawgre Teno Chadil district tawgre Ukrul tawgre Senapati tawgre Tamenglong tawgre Imphal East tawgre hadi Manipur apumbagi oina tawrakpane ba sigumba ma chauba ma tawtaragadi akoi gi wakhandadi Manipur gi oina district or reorganization amane bandak se overall ado ri tawhugudaba su yamna leiri wali
okay
yamna wali aduna si bapung phadaba decision nena anuman ai khanjai aduna sigumba ma tawram taragadi district reorganization committee ma tawraga hojik district ki boundary gi jai na ba mayam leiri adigi administrative convenience haragadi hojik kanoda akoi gi Senapati district ki makha leramba hojina Kangpokpi district harisu lakadorba village khungang mayam ama se akoi gi Thobal district ki border boundary yam leiri ba ai sa mag nahan khoi khungang amada khundo khoi gi wifi gi khungni
hoje oja haibi se roina district ngasai gi create to budu budi welcome tawi aduga masi taseng badi hana masi tawtringai da reorganization gi kari matang se
fajana khanna gadam ni mayam public ki opinion logadab ni
thank you
complete wai dri ba se adu nei
ai mathang damung lak chage ta mo da oja san hojik se yam di tang ba kano hai tai comment hai tai mase opposition party on lebiri mina political ngasai gi congress ka BJP ka se ihan an bada ojan ni majan takpiri se move sidi thagal i hai aduga at the same time amu hai biri se kaino hai kan mase mathang mathong monum khang da ba hai di tawung khang da ba de hai bani mathong monum khang da ba hai badi lan gani tawung khang da na thang ba du gumba khong thang ho mali hai bagi wapam du ni adu ngasi se convention am su pang tu ki convention du buti mapung oina hujuk jik changchal liba UNC gi economic blockade sida maruina base tawba du da base tawba convention ni adu wapam du na kona tham akan ojanson being a leader of civil society organization masigi creation se kamai lobi kamai ubi kari hai bini
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯉꯥꯡꯅꯔꯒ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯃꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯋꯤꯗꯥꯎꯠ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯄꯦꯔꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯅ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯁꯤꯅ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯤꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯕꯤగ్ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯃꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯚꯔꯑꯣꯜꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤ purely based on administrative convenience 하이브두디 하나 마야나 두 강나라 레이브 포트 아마네바 아두나 아두부디 웰컴 tawba aduga masigi district law sudden kanosina masigi announcement sina tongan tonga bi issue mem crop up to kara haibududi amu yeng batai adubu hosor far hosi faududi kun aina sum wari sajam matamda khoi gi kuki gi chinau sing asai lambadu almost they are happy Sadar Hill district ki kamu sing mo demand committee kamu sing mo harawe whereas atopagi side ki report chidi kamai to bono haibudai khangdreba adubu ngasai sidai sida ama khaktin di lei haidi 40 years kumba gi agitation ama movement ama changjel akanda district demands tawbiu hana changa kanda so suddenly khangdaba nonne hairo dagi fragile hairo churachanpur gi ko mayam sina expect tawdaba sigumba kharadi suddenly tawgi base sarkar sigi magi political convenience amadi oi haibase medi kakpa yaro whatever may be the reason ko aduga political convenience haibase it may be magi mileage lobagi oramba yai natraga ngasagi comfort ama hosiki situation sida madugi lawna bagi oramba su yai aduna madumudi khoina assess to ngamdre madi prajana dum tawjaraga sunu aduba ngasagi overall da ngasagi administrative kainom da adubu still dispute will continue mamdi district ki boundary si kamain to subdivision law ne haibagi specification ju yaude kamain to no haidu de ko no thokjara pusu yai adubu there are still yam controversial oiba akogi district boundary settlement tawdri ba aduna ngasagi akogi haibiba akogi BJP gi spokesperson haibiba to akogi masigi district boundary gi committee gumba ma tawrakanda any sort of dispute hang left ka moirang laina ba adu mayam ato to jaga su leiri koktuk to su leiri dana sumba mayam gi settle tawna na ba ngasagi thokpo du de cabinet decision du da ai sadu gumba am su yaura kanda masi yengjani khochani haibigi comforting oi ba consoling oi ba kainom su step am su logra magadi kitang phagani ne khale adu hojik phaugi ona di reaction lakto wani adu hai hangchite kai lakenu di haibang am de adu district ngasagi semba du di yam phai na khanje.
Thank you, Jajun sir. Siro, I'm coming to you. That my question is, do you think that this creation of new 7 district will subside the ongoing agitation of UNC that is they are imposing blockade on both this national highway? Do you think that this move will subside or it will add some more problem that are we going to say that instead of just taking them into the negotiating table, creation of this 7 new district will add more problem?
Thank you very much for hosting, Mr. Sharma, and I appreciate your media house for taking this, creating this opportunity. Manipur government or the state should have done this kind of the space for common dialogue and discussion, but you are doing it. I really appreciate that. But as far as the creation of additional 7 districts is concerned, I think what is shocking is there is ongoing economic blockade because this was created by the present government and this is not solved here. And then there are huge problems in the valley as well as in the hill area. And then without any public consultation, without any knowledge of people's participations, new list of district has come out. And we know that district, as far as the revenue district is concerned, it will have a far-reaching consequences to each one of us. And then discussion and dialogue is so important. And it is very unfortunate that when we talk about the inclusive, the idea of Manipur, or even when we talk about even the creations of the 7 districts, I'm sure it is limited within one minority community, so-called the Meiteis, might have been orchestrated all this design because hardly there could be any participation from the 90% of the inhabitants of the state. Why I say this? Because even if you look at the assembly of the Manipur assembly, it is not democratic at all. Why I say Manipur assembly is not democratic? Let me give you one classic example. If you look at the Sinabati population, it has 4,79,000 population, but it has only 6 MLAs. Whereas if you look at Imphal East, it has 4,52,000, but it has 11 MLAs. So how can you say that this is democratic? So obviously, any voice that comes out, it cannot have a representations or aspiration or opinions of the hill people. That's the reason why, to make it more inclusive, to make the idea, so-called idea, or the decisions of even the creation of the district more inclusive, talking to the civil society is so important, which I think the present government has completely left out. And the thing is, when you talk about the convenience, they say that it is merely for the convenience of administrations. But we remember that Jiribam, which is almost like more than 100 kilometers away from Imphal East, they were still part of Imphal East district. Then we never thought that it would be more convenient to include, let's say, in Tamengang district. Why is that so? If we are talking about convenience of administration, if you look at the Sada Hills map or proposed Sada Hills district, it is just like octopus tentacles. And I don't see the logic of how this is convenient. So there are many other things that we need to address first. Number one, Manipur Assembly, we need to democratize. Once that is democratized, we can say that any decisions that comes out of the assembly is democratic in nature. Unless that happens, people's Manipur state or the cabinet or the decisions of the state has to have consensus or otherwise opinion from civil society. Unfortunately, the civil society or Naga voice, who should otherwise represent the 18 Naga tribes, and the leader is behind the bar, which is so unfortunate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sponsor.
Tamo, just today, just Hiro, just as he's coming down, just straight from Delhi, we just treated him as a very special guest, and as he talked about this number of these people representative from Senapati district and all this remote hill areas, I think he thinks that the more representative will be needed just to address the grievances of the common people stay residing there. How do you feel and how do you react?
Definitely, I'll put it in perspective. First, I'll respond to my brother Siro's this thing, and it's very nice that he has flown down from Delhi to be part of this discussion. See, let us not get mixed up. There's a certain issue at hand which we are discussing today, but Siro has, of course, gone into little various aspects of other issues as well. But coming back to that, the concept of the assembly being not democratic, I think that would be a very, I think, I will not say a wrong statement, but it will be a rather little, I feel it is not a very responsible statement, because under the constitution, under the federal system, the Manipur government, Manipur Assembly has its own strength. It has its own delimitations of the various 60 constituencies, and the delimitations of the constituencies are held from time to time, and that is something which the aspirations, these anomalies are always there. You have constituencies where you have, say for example, my constituency is very small. Honorable BJP spokesperson's constituency is big. See, some constituencies can have about 1 lakh population. Some constituencies can have 20,000 only. So those are things where I think that can be discussed at a different forum, where how democratic it is, or the number of seats which is represented in the assembly is justifiable or not. That's another issue. But coming back to the main issue of involving all the stakeholders, as he says, I think I don't deny that. And coming back to again, I perspective the lakche ke masai BJP ki koi spokesperson haibi gi bado masai gi aikoi yamna there must come a stage. I di handaki stage last 40 years akoi na yam ping ai matam dagi bawda lerama ba issue ma akoi gi government to BJP ko bi ai Congress ki bi ai present dispensation si di Congress ki government da sina yam bold oi statement bold oi step ama low by si in principle ngi si lo yanari aduna ngasai sarkar sina tawham leitadana tawbani ga haiba pot adudi khara mina tabada aigi wakhan ngasi aigi ngasi gi debate asidi politics tagi kitang wangna chalhaningba ai tawham leitadana tawbani ga haiba gumba adigi district reorganization gumba haibi do I totally support to 5 times assembly the libiram ni akhoi dagi su hena khangbiba haibiba khoi takbi tamiba yaba adugumba parliamentarian amani aduga sugumba step ama loba haibisidi we have done series of masidi no mada to ya pot nati haijiri chumi nga sai gi bam pi ga do ne mo hai pi ho da gi problem lai kana no ma sida thesel lami khosel lami hai gi kano bawda madu di public domain da lai pot na ta ni adubu akoi officially akoi na district formally demand akoi gi district announce to ji ngarang da ne haijiri madu di government gi kano ne haijiri adang nga sai gi masida ai gi wakhan da di ai appeal ni ko mase because the journey of 1,000 miles, English the journey of 1,000 miles has to begin with one single step. The ngasi government, hana leirama government, natraga mamang da leirama government na yam achouba sigumba bold step amadi lowdri ngasi baw. Aduna ngasi da soiba khotpa awatpa wataba ngasai gi district boundary akoi cabinet memo da soi adugi di ngasai haijarke yam phajana akoi gi maduda boundary ki issue yam chumme kuji molils me am ki problem lai ai ki singje mai da lai ba molils ha da si na daga thamai ban da lai ba molil ha si masi ki molil si kadai da kangpuk bi da lai do ri bra ha bna ching district ki sigum ba boundary ki issue lak du di madu ki du di district boundary commission ma koi logani ha ba gi akoi cabinet ki para 13 da koi decision si logja ri yam clearly low ri madu in public domain da koi la ani madu su masida haije si just am khatang ai pathok chage ba masida koi na haije si koi to ensure equitable and just decision on this matter, a district boundary commission will be set up and will be headed by a retired judge of the High Court with additional chief secretary ate hills ki tribal affairs ki loina mag yaw do gi madu ki clause ma khwai da ki saving clause am yaw ri anu masi district lauk thoe hai na madu ki anomalies mayam sai high bi riba siro na high bi riba stakeholders mayam masi city koi kadai da boundary oigani kadai da kakna gani kadai da koi kano tongni hai badu di madu di over period of time evolve tor pani aduna alo badam tang hai ge di in any administration say Pramano haijage ba koi any governance hai ta governance tadi aruba poni city continuous process sabane district ama same hai dana maduda loina ma hekta nong mada hekta district amagi infrastructure si building su adi dc su adi gari su paraphernalia su magi leiriba ka hai ta de maduda chang do mayam do hekta nong mada loina ma puthoga district to functional hen by city it is not possible. It is an ongoing process and it is going to happen. And it was, I again put it on record that this was a well thought of koi contemplate tawraga yam phajana koi masi district asi koi ki administrative convenience ki sa high bi ko pi mayam se pros and cons mayam adu kano tawraga mayam ki public ki nungai na ba madu ki duna sacrosanct maduna khwaidagi kano mamang da thamaga tawjigi ba state on hai.
Thank you dong. Ozai ozani wichal long dai break ki matung da laksabatai. Commercial break amagi matung ta impact news ki Manung Hutna yengbi ba punam ki mafam da thuna puduna laksake impact news ming ta duna lebiu.
Admissions open. Greenwood School, Lalambung Makong, Rims Road. Admission is going on for classes pre-nursery to class 8. Special features, well-equipped classroom, library and audio and visuals, free computer classes, games and sports, dance and music, yoga. Admissions fees, monthly fees, textbooks and notebooks free for AY and BPL students. Transport facility. For more details, please contact Greenwood School, Lalambung Makong, Rims Road or contact 9862 284561.
Beneath 100 meters from the Earth's surface, naturally filtered through sand stones, pure, clean and healthy water.
Break ki matung da yengbi ba punma ko amukhana taram nok chari pathang ge ozani chai mai chalong da laksa batai madu dinga sai hai rido tobung khung da ba step ni ga hai badu mudi lale hai bani ji congress tak piri se aduga maroina hujik chi dauthokre aduga district ki boundary sing kari sing sembo khopo gi matang du hujik palle cabinet ki decision da 13 chuba pera da palle hare basi hana district boundary sing kari committee ki posting si hana leibam to ko poni na hai bi dor na takana basi creation to dunya leibam hai bi dor ra kame hai bi ninge wala
sidi arai bo pot nati
hoi
sidi achauba decision ni manipur gi ayeng tungi history semgadori bani manipur tungi lamena achauba impact laidori ne ba aduna hujik pudi boundary commission semgane habane ba ko semdri bani district mayama hoi Jiribam district ki adagi Southern Hills district ki hairage ko sigdi yamna kuina degi prepare tawdra khotna leigre loina mak official karki loinam leire ba atai tei mayam create tori se yamdi phaba hai tare welcome to yar tare ko adu ersu madugi lakadaba mayam adugi sidi hana prepare to hum changne ba overnight heti yadi ba aina ga sai tawhum khangna tawne harido maram jam leini maram di kaino kuina blockade tawsalaktana tha ama makhai phajalakadore manipur prajasi yaringai ware achomdagi blockade kamur so hangbi wa leite manipur sarkar nu madu hangna ba open tawna bagi hona bisi ngamdre complete collapse ne buji leje sigi lakpasida overnight ta ahing amada hekta decision ama lauthorok paise hana manipur praja khara khangom thui idna ko hari Kaching district si demand or kuirabani wari boba sumaina hari Technopol district ki demand tawi di khoita de atei ti mayam ka ta di ba hari hana gom akhoi ju gom na kui lerame ai politics ta sahi about 35 years kuma sure e sikana gumbagi brain da su leibu ude hari secretary ta function to ribo officer sing officials mayam da ki ju district level da ki lai mayam da ju sigum ba si koktam te yaw ude aduna hojik to ri complete unpreparedness ta haidi hojiki blockade to ri se karmaina thenani khang tab da gi sina khara phagadra to bor weram tabdi yai ko aina khanmai wana ji puk phata bhai tare male ba ko
thank you
ar aim ta hai gi ge ba
hoi
hojik to ri se complete oi de ba achuk chauba bol step ne haidana manipur pumbagi district teret hekta one night te hingalan base si complete oi dri ba
okay thank you
ai hai gi ko ai khara hai gi ge complete oi dri di Imphal West district hojik lei ri se si khara bam thoi hojik ko adagi Imphal East district hojik lei ri se jiribam bodi khaidok khre ko adun tar ba khoi gi main land le ri ba Imphal East district ki le ri ba area mayam je si ju khana bam thoi ba warib ni if you can divide Technopol from Chandel why not you divide Moirang from Bishnupur this is my question ko if you can divide this Jiribam from Imphal East why not you cannot divide this Wangoi from Imphal West hujik Imphal wigi Imphal city manung leriba kendra tere se sina karino city district hai ga leidina ko si ju yamna chawra atei tei mayam ji yungura ga di yam chawre aduna hujik tori thabak sidi complete voi de Manipur ki achauba decision ama bold decision ama laura ga di Manipur da district tare khanghen engalan bai chelo taraga di you should not forget other things
haidi anogo district create tawduna tawradi khara muka su tawbu yari
khara di whole Manipur ki no pulap yang ta bne you cannot see you cannot be you cannot have a narrow mind
cannot direct
no problem ozam sa inga selection mu se maroina hujik se ai khoi na ojagi community tajare aduga atopa khoi kaino haitare common people singi as a civil society organization nabagi one of the leading civil society organization of the state leader moina common people singi moigi view moigi opinion kamai lei aduga ngasi gi phambi ruba ngasi convention dubudi ta sengpadi economic blockage ta phambu bure kano tobuni madugi outcome dunu karino hujik leri se aduga leiriba ani si kayam mari leni haidi masi taseng ba economic blockage subside tongno ba step ma malibra na truly administrative convenience to malibra oja
masi keno ne sengna hairabada ani bagadum adum yengba yai haidi ngasagi hujiki situation se kitang ease of tongna ba ma aduga ngasagi mayamna kano tawba adugumba amasu administrative convenience tawne haibadumdi chumdoini maramdi particular case ama makon study dokta gri chumdoini adubudi chumaga ngasagi prepare magi preparation ama yauraga fazana preempted plan ama ga loina na tawbra haibadugi question duneba akogi pabung kano na haibiri do but I have a small answer to reply to one of my friend from Delhi has just said akoi Manipur ki state assembly if it is a question of how democratic our state assembly is, then the same question is raised on the Indian Parliament. How do you foresee the Indian Parliament? The structure of the Indian Parliament, the federal structure of India is so disgusting that a minority, which is not even 0.1 of the Indian total population, we are still living in that part. So if you go by the theory of how this parliamentary population has been, representation has been carved out, I think it is the purely based on your population theory. The ratio of population fits the how many elected leaders are to be elected from the tribal areas. But I just give you one point. The putting off or the cutting off of Imphal East Jiribam from the mainland Imphal East is not a creation of any of the government of Manipur. I think it is a legacy of the British. If you go to the 1941 census, I think it is ample clear that Jiribam was part of the valley, isn't it? So after 1947, the hill divide administration, this is the same case. If you refer the same question to us, I think why Lamla Hupi village, which is just the adjacent of Bishnupur district headquarters, is included in Senapati district. The person from there has to go through Impal West, around 40 kilometers, then he has to go another 58 kilometers to reach Senapati district headquarters. It is not the creation of any of our politicians. I think it is the British legacy. And the second point is, the entire constitution of India referred Manipur in what context? Article 371C referred only to hill areas. It's a great, what you call, kind of a gift from India, that for being a sovereign nation for the last 2,000 years, and there was not a single reference of the general public except the hill areas in the Indian constitution. This is the kind of constitution which we are staying with. So there is no racial hegemony, any kind of ethnic dominance over one another. If you can cite one example, I will just cite one example. Purum is hardly a population, having a population of around how much? 500, 1,000. If that was the intention of the majority Meiteis, I think we might not see any of these smaller tribes existing even today. So Manipur is a civilization, it's a growing civilization which is based on the basic principle of peaceful coexistence. I think this must be cleared. And one question is, why the population of Paumata is 100%, 200% growth rate? No one, now people are saying that it is incorrect, but the people are sticking that it is correct. Do you have a growth rate of 200% in Paumata? Is it acceptable? So there are issues which we really need to address, and I think this is not a concern of one
This
ethnic.
is not a forum where...
We should not fall into ethnic lines. There are issues which our politicians have done blunder in the history, and there are also issues which counterparts, stakeholders like us, we have to sit down and discuss. I think this is the only point which I refer to
So
you.
for all these things, we need one larger platform, and we need to have
Sir,
time.
can
We
I-
need to invite
Sir,
all the stakeholders so that
So,
our problems,
Shiro-
each other could understand.
Can I just
Yeah,
reply?
Shiro-
Yeah,
Shiro-
sure,
I-
sure,
I-
Shiro,
I
Shiro,
come in-
Shiro,
come
you
in
please
to
take your
begin,
time.
sir.
You please take your
Sir,
time.
the
You
only
please take your time.
one second, one second,
At least we have to be
Issue
generous. I am
issue
minority here.
No
issue
minority.
among
Matam
ngasai
time
chiro
to
na
follow
gi
the
ba assembly da MLA masing yamba yamda khoi gi population yamaga MLA masing wali gai do aduri sida khanna ga dam nati
Nati, adu yung sa
that is
higher.
the in the purview of Election Commission of India.
Mani, mani.
Koi na haibu ngam
See,
ban
why I bring this?
Let him have his say.
Yes, please,
Like
please go ahead.
Our
Please go ahead.
Honorable Minister have said my statement of calling Manipur Assembly as undemocratic is very irresponsible. But let me justify this. And our brother Johnson has also mentioned that yes, representation is based on the principle of proportionate representation, which is otherwise a population. Now, I'll quickly go through it, background, 1 minute.
No, no, take it.
If you look at the population of Manipur, it is 28,56,000 after the inclusions of Senapati district, which was in fact neglected in 2001 and 2011. Now, finally, on 7 January 2014, Census Director General has accepted. Now, how you dispute it, we have to dispute with the Census Director General. But they have officially said that it's 28,56,000 Manipur population. Now, if you look at the tribal population based on 2001 census, it's 35.1%. Now, if you look at the, very recently, there was an inner line permit movement in Manipur. And if you look at the Joint Committee on Inner Line Permit Movement system, that committee, if they look at their press statement, they have clearly said that there is more than 4,400 population, migrant population in Manipur. So that is, in 1948, the population of migrant was less than 3,000, but now it has increased to more than 10 lakhs. Now if I remove 10 lakhs from 28 lakhs 56,000, we are left with how many indigenous population are left with 18 lakhs 56,000. 35% is the one that was recorded, but that was excluded Pamuda, Parur, Maram, 3 subdivision. After the inclusion of this 3 subdivision, there was more than 2 lakhs population. That means there was entirely a tribal population, so it is more than 42%, nearly 43%. Conversion to absolute number, it comes to roughly around 13 lakhs. That means the total population left in valley is less than 7 lakhs. So 7 lakhs will amount to less than 24%, but it has 66.67 representation. So this is the huge problem. But coming to the minister's concern of the recent creation of district, I think this is just a ploy by the present government of Congress-led government to just divert the issue. They have ruled for 15 years. They could have taken many bold decisions. It was not taken so. But this time, when the election is round the corner, they have taken a very bold decision. This is so surprising. Instead of debating on their progress report, whether they have created more jobs, whether there is good road connectivity. You have seen in Ukrur, the civilian, since the government has neglected for how many years? Many years in the main headquarters, just 5, not even 2 or 3 kilometers, it's less than 2 kilometers, they were not able to focus. So citizens with their own pockets, they have started constructing a road. So is the Tamenglong. And there were many other examples. Development is, poverty is right. You please ask. I hear from this platform, I want to ask to our friends in Delhi, is your life improving? But you have to see in context with other places around the world. Other places around the world are progressing. But here we are fighting each other. We are not able to have a civilized dialogue and discussion. But this is a ploy to divert the issue. Second, last point. In 1998, during Nipamaja government time, on the third point of memorandum of understanding signed with ANSAM, clearly said that they will identify foreign nationals, illegal immigrants in the soil of Manipur. I asked government of Manipur right now, how many of you have identified? And they said they agreed to deport. We are concerned. We talk about illegal immigrants, Bangladeshi illegal immigrants. What about Myanmar? Are we talking about this? This is going to be a problem not only for the Nagas, also for our brothers in Valley. This is a serious issue, and then unfortunately,
so Ciro, for
the
this,
government is not doing.
for all this issue, I think we need very lengthy time
sir,
and
I don't know, sir.
I mean platform also. And it's a very from my side, it's a very sincere question to Ciro. That just you say this time Manipur are just facing double impact. One is an impact of this demonetization, and this time again due to this more than 1 month long economic blockade by UNC. Sometimes don't you feel that...
So two statements, I will give you this reply. If the Manipur government had consulted with the Naga police as it was agreed in 4 memorandum of understanding, UNC will have never called for economic blockade. If they do so, I will be the first one to oppose them. And then we will even, instead of targeting the Manipur state, we will have mobilized in Delhi to go against the UNC, because we don't want anyone to suffer. But Manipur government choose not to discuss concerns.
No,
with
Ciro,
them. That is the problem.
just
No,
keeping aside this state government and central government, just considering the enormous hardship being faced by the common people.
So that
don't you
respond
think
to
that
see off track chat ka do reva.
So if
No problem, no
UNC
problem.
leader is released, then I'm sure, and if the government of Manipur is willing to respect the 4 memorandum of understanding signed with the Naga police, I guarantee you Naga will immediately call off the economic blockade. That is something.
So sir, please let me come back. I matam please.
Yeah, you please take your
And
time.
please, sir, kitang I want to interrupt to no.
Yeah, no
because
problem. You please go ahead.
these are very serious issues, and I represent the government also. And I na khara government ki aku bata me am so hai jagya. Matam kitang ngasi liberal law ise ko.
Please
Because this is
go
a very
ahead, sir.
big issue.
Please go ahead, sir.
Kasu kai te khak na koi impact matam PV la kasu kai den kale and do justice to everybody. I want to matam PV have na te, mangon the PV have na te, but justice ita use.
Yeah, you please.
I know number 1 the thumbing is I once again request Siru that please be kitang focused like you. Please be focused, because you know there are if you go on and mix up issues on a discussion like this, then we cannot come to a objective conclusion. And by the way, if you talk about all these issues, we cannot finish in this session. Will require many more sessions. Honorable spokesperson of the BJP has already said it. These are issues which cannot be discussed in a forum like this. Election Commission is involved. The Delimitation Commission of India is involved. And how can you see? We are living under a federal system where the Nagaland Assembly is there, Manipur Assembly is there. You have various assemblies in the country, and you are blatantly calling a democratically elected assembly, whatever your aspirations is right or wrong, that is another issue. But you are saying that it is a very undemocratic. You are casting aspersions on a pillar of institution, pillar of democracy itself. You represent a very responsible organization. Break highway one. Please don't take me wrong, because you are free to express your opinion. There is another thing. I cannot give economic blockade siga mix up to economic blockade siga mix up to it will be very unfortunate. Nasi forums policy politics where general consensus of BJP welcome to UCM now highway aduga chuming asai akoi maduda akoi chen de government mo ina eta preparedness ekta lai rabra habdi madudi akoi su laite na haibda kesu लांदेबा बट अखोई इंटेंशन अखोई गवर्नमेंट सिना तौजनिंगी अखोइना तौनिंगी पोट बोल्ड स्टेप अमा लौइबदुदी मयामना लौनबा ngamdaba आइदुदी मदुदी वेलकम तौगम थुइना अदुदगी लाकदब लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट लॉजिस्टिकल सपोर्ट मयाम अदुदी नोंगद याब्रने अखोई कर्म अमा तौब मतम मानदोबसिबु नोंगद दक 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 खनबा याब्राइबा it requires time मदुगी दिखरा कोई मतम पीबी बताए याम चुमी इम्फाल वेस्ट की करिगे दमकता हाइदबनो हाइब आई सिटी दगिनी अदु सिटी डिस्ट्रिक्ट करिगे हाइदबनो हाइबनु चिंगबदुदी इट्स अ वेरी पर्टिनेंट क्वेश्चन नोइना सोमदा कनोदी तौरे अखोई कामजोंग हापे अदगी चांदेल द टेक्नोपल हापे अदगी सोमदा नोने नुंगबा खोपम लोंगमै हाउचोंग मयाम हापे अदु इतागनी हाइबनु चिंगबदुदी वैलिड ओइब क्वेश्चन गातबे अदु आइना यामना नुंगाइजदबसे नुंगाइजदबसे साइगी political color ma sum akoi hoi politics the political entity loina oina banina political color to the su akoi lapthok na chatpadi yadi adu ai gi wakhal ding nga sigi need of the hour is that I Congress ni BJP ni adu ne dane ji kauraga Manipur da su ai now siro da su hai je ke bai I'll speak in my language adi akoi gi akoi ai naga ni ai maitai ni ai kuki ni hai bagi wali sing ata oina chatlaga di akoi Manipur gi future ji leira roi ana te ai lotion jarge just ai lotion je kuina lojero ba ngasai gi ngasai haibiriba loina chummeba ai Shri Nipamacha laigidriba Shri Nipamacha gi government gi matamda I was a minister in the government also ngasai haibiriba mayam loina chummeba UNC gan sangba 23rd June 1998 agreement tawna gi khona gi mayam do yam boldly now siru ne di hairiba karigumba blockade che du toba UNC gi mi ji thado ga di adu da yam hairiba that is again a very bold statement yam live statement natiba UNC gi mi ma phare khole aduna issue amuneba that is done under the legal aspect adugi lady ma phari du kari madam da phavno akoi kari madam da thado ko dobno but the judicial process ma madugi kari haita re madugi case ma the legal aspect on chat khreba adam pochi amaga pusan na na hona rakba economic blockade se aduni adani economic blockade se ba hauna ri brava lan gi matam da ba during the time of war lan tabu matam da ba second world war or any conflict matam da humanitarian aid थाउगी लंबी यंगबियोबा अदगी प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन द हॉस्पिटल द पुबद ऑक्सीजन लेत्रे अदुना चिंगबा सिगुंबा मयाम सिदी फने यामना डिमांड लेरगसु लेजिटिमेट ओइबा याय मखोई की एस्पिरेशन फनाम चुंबा याय अखोई यूएनसी न ओइबा याय नत्रगा अखोई यूसीएम गी नाउ लेबिरी सिदा सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हाइबा सिदी मखोई न तौबा पोत हाइबदुदी मोइगी सु जस्टिफिकेशन लै अदु दैट शुड नॉट बी एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ अखोई एकता मी मयाम सि हात पतुपगी सिबगी मोंद लागदी दैट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल aduna nate lotion jar ki geba loid dieba just 30 seconds more nate kui de da ka su yam lo gre da matam kui de 30 seconds ai da keba akoi government hai basically holistically yeng bata hai akoi for example akoi jiri bam gi chei nifu gi demand taw le hai ga jiri bam ata pi bai wa na te demand taw da ba mayam gi ta roi tra demand taw da ba mayam gi ta roi tra se kamjong kam lapi adi felzol se kam lapi Chulchanpur dagi kyam lapi jiri bam 222 kilometers ne aduna chingma mayam asi administrative convenience ki yengo matamda at one stroke ta ngamdraga su at least reasonable oi haiba pot jiri bam ga sadar hills ga pire madu reasonable oi mayam long demand ni adubu at the same time demand tau jarakta ba mayam justifiable di oi ba madu gi gumba mayam adu pi da ba ya da ai gi wakal da di aloi boina handaki government sina low riba decision si di mayam gi loina ma yenga from all section adigi ate yengaga tawbane lawjayeba kaigino the testimony of which ngasi yengbiu celebration all over kangpuk pi the celebration tawri adigi none the celebration tawri adigi akoi kano the felzol the celebration tawri there is a mode of celebration everywhere mi mayam gi harau pot ka su lairiyeba
thank you pot su achoba ozane chalong swai dai lakse nimse north east state sing da maru na hai tai sum amukta da अखोई डिस्ट्रिक्ट अखोई क्रिएट तौब है सबेन से ख्वाइदगी हाइएस्ट ने हुजी फोगदि रेकॉर्ड ने अदुगा असम दा मरोइना हंदक से 2015 16 की स्वाइदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट पी पीरोरबा अदुगा इन एजुकेट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ना मरम मोरकांदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट से अमुक पीरु से विड्रॉ तोक्तोपुगसु यावी स्वाइददी ओजा करी वफम थबिनिंगी स्वाइगी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर करी वफम लाकनी करा फ्यूचर सिंचे
तुंगी दा कोई न हुजी हारुबु लुगनी आइना हाइनिंग बम दिले को हंदकी डिस्ट्रिक्ट पीव से अनटाइमली हाई तारे को ब्लॉकेट का सिगा मरी लेन बिगनु हाइबदो होय याम फजब वानी मरी लेन दब यारो सिम जो है जगे मरम दी दिस गवर्नमेंट चाही 3 पाला बने chahi tra nga su kuin se tumuraga hayeng khakta election se tha ma kha ni ngara kanda to bche sidi political mileage lo no hon rakne hai bchi akoi di as a party in opposition hai dabdi yadre madudi dai mai cha luang na sida chatlaga dum hai de judi ai di mayam chai cha purani mun adudi hype tamni because maram di kanabu sigi district creation to bche why not you create before 1st November question namne ba adagi 1st November to hodre adagi irang thoye khole hoji blockade to re ba blockade to ri ba se phasana loisan biro ba all stakeholders wari sadana kotra torga manipur praja punamak sigi confidence lower kanda blockade na sing basi loisan laga tawra su yare election mamang ne harba da ko si issue ji question ji rise to dabdi ya deba si question je kungoda bani congress party na why not you do it before 1st November and why not you do it after the blockade na sing basi loisan lakanda mayam shanti ora kana tawdo ya tawdri maram karigino what you have been doing for the last 15 years si question ni khumde bare amma kha ka hairage masai saran angbi ba hayeng atopa state singda hana create or kanda ko namu undo to we have do
yawi
madudi hayeng la kada go mena lepsa kada bani adubu aigi wakanda aigi experience ta hoji ko manipur da subdivision create to graba adagi SDC office mayam create to graba fajana function tawde
okay
ngako ay loi khatang tawde
matam tension la
do
ai ni teseng
si bu tohon mangam derba si tohon mangam der kanda ngasagi federal kari ge lamno harbo sida district ki office hanga khola function fajana tawgodra tore je doubtful isam thor ai gi kendra haidar ko yari pukta tulihal SDC office lay aduro function tawde kairao block ki kairao da subdivision office lay kairao da function tawde so mo ni SDO office lay function tawde ugrul su le rambi ai moirang gi SDO office I think subject to correction moirang da function to bungam de tawde si to hun bangam dra kan da hojik district ara function to gane je de la si tung da kari tholoke du yeng se du
thank you da Ujan san sai da laksa ding besemuru ene hoi matung da lakata ba khoi gi kayam mai pak na chanchan ba district creation di tawgi taw kre aduga infrastructure sing kayam pung phana thambang ba kayam mai pak na chanchan ba du di lakata mo tam ching do ja yeng budi tari ge du ko ujan san sai da ngasai gi economic mang da di ta sing budi phong san di tan le economic blockade siga ngasai gi district creation siga punna masi yeng minawa lan gani na traga chumgane si kari ofum thang khara tentang thambi tayo ja
yam chume ani je khaiduk na ba yaroi maram di economic blockade erupts from the core issue saigi district sem gani high basine haba aduna ani se yap interrelated oi maram di ani se mari leni je chume ba aduga aina asigi I have to reply to what my friend mana high base ai kitang sengdok tani just for your clarification my question to you is the UNC still with their unilateral decision not to engage with the state government, and the continuous reference of your MOU of 1992 is signed between a party which is non-entity to the political context of Manipur. I admit it was a political blunder by our politicians, because NSF was not a organization which was based in Manipur, and in the letterhead in that memorandum of understanding it was written Oking Nagaland Club Kohima. It is ample clear that it was a non-entity party which has signed that MOU with the government of that time. It's a political blunder, I admit it. The second point is reference of your arithmetic calculation of how many foreigners are there in Manipur is purely based on the 1994 MOU which was signed between MSU and the government of the then government. Yes, there were commitment given by the government, but nothing has been done, because at that time there was a committee which was formed, including the Home Secretary, to look into this matter. It was never done. So these are the political handicaps that we are facing today. But I'll tell you why we have gone for an ILP in a very elaborative in a very what do you call understandable way to how you perceive. I'll just give you an example. The decadal growth rate of Manipur as per 1951 was 12.08. Now it jumped, I don't know, 1950, from 51 to 61 to 35.8, almost 3 times. Is there a call to check the infiltration after seeing all this sudden growth of decadal growth rate? Is it justified? For you, is it justified or not? It's up to your own assessment. For us, we felt that something sneaky have been done in our population demographic change. So we need to look into these matters. And also, these are all pure what you call true figures which has been reflected in the census report. So on that basis, we need an ILP. This is what we are thinking. And because of all the calculations till today that we have made in 2011, the outsiders population, including all Bangladesh, Myanmar, everything has exceeded 11 lakhs. This is more than 2 lakhs more than the entire indigenous population of Manipur. So tribal population, they are now far below the outsiders. So this is the basic question, and I think we need no further explanation, because when ILP is imposed, the one who is going to benefit, if it is imposed in Ukhrul, that Ukhrul residents will going to get the benefit. If it is imposed in Senapati, they are the ones who are going to get the benefit. So I think it is quite clear. No politics should be played. I think that politics on ethnic lines, we should be,
Yes.
we should stop playing all these things. I think this is the bottom line which I just want to refer to you.
Do I have a chance to clarify on that?
Yeah, last concern, last reactions, due to this constraint of time. So otherwise, I can give you more time, but sorry, this is due to constraint of time. Just I'm asking you just to have just little time.
Can I still have the? I wanted to clarify one thing. I'm just last I'm sorry. Let me. You can respond to me after this, because it will be easier for you. No. It's the same thing. Someone I cannot miss the over. Sai UCM gi kano ina na haibu support to wiwa din natiko. Sai kano gi pot kala lay base. Sai gi loina ma sai haibi gi ba sai mix up. Akoi amna question nama UCM gi no na hai ri ba. Sai gi akoi gi democratically elected government nama lay ba akoi Manipur si state oi oi tana. Akoi si suoi stakeholders oi de. Government of India aga sungang na gani ansam gi oisu UNC gi oisu no NSF gi oisu no masida 1992 da bu oisu 1998 da bu oisu 2011 da oisu Ministry of Home Affairs ga oisu akoi kamaina chalai ge do ri ge ba administration ne kamaina understanding lai do ri ge ba Manipur government ga koi karin da lena dena laite Manipur government gi makha da koi laite akoi moi mawa chatte Ukhrul da kano chandak chat padu su helicopter gi incident ho kare adagi ngasa haibi de po da se adugi common ground su lai laite ga kamaina wari sana ga do ri ge ba adugi common ground laite ga di hujikti as an entity Manipur government oina di lai ri dana Manipur assembly lai ri dana Naga gi MLAs lai ri Kuki gi MLAs lai ri Muslim gi MLAs lai ri Maitai MLAs lai ri at least democratic body of the lai ri ba masida akoi di masigi purview da su chalalo hai dana civil society hai tare UCM oi be ai amuko oi be ai UNC oi be ai say in I directly ta hai je da gi UNC na di masida koi kaim yaw do hai ri ba adi blockade si kamai handok ka do ri ge adu blockade ana tawre sida blockade ka mix up taw da ba ina sida madum da oina puhaning de di adi ai nongma madu di forum da hai ge kanu ma mix up su taw ge ba akoi gi government da sina last 15 years asida ai chau thok na ngasi impact tv gi kanu ju hai jaram ge nongma chasi now siro ju delhi de ge mo halak piu you know how much we have done in the hills masi since akoi gi state hut gi ba ngasi bhaw da ai chau thok na hai je ge akoi gi government da sina 15 years da ching da akoi na tawi ba thabag se it is unparalleled and we have done yamna phadana thok to ga madugi praman de thabak oina uchage.
Thank you.
Very quickly,
You please respond to
Mr. Johnson, if you look at the concept of inner line permit system, of course, demographic politics in India, in the entire Northeast, is a serious issue, not only for the Meiteis, it's for everyone. And also, the concerns that we have, not only from Bangladesh side, but from Myanmar side, is a big concern. The only problem is we do not trust the present democratic structure in Manipur right now. Because like I say, it's not democratic, it's not fairly represented. Article 332 clearly says that tribal will have a proportional representation based on their population. It is not done so. Tribal population has crossed more than 40% representation, it's only 33%. That is one thing. Delimitation Commission on the last 2001 PACE census have recommended 5 census. All political party forum was formed under the leaderships of Ipobi Singh, and they rejected. You talk about AMSU, agreements with identification foreign nationals. That is one aspect. We signed in 1998 with Nibamacha as a chief minister. We signed under the point number 3. He has clearly said that identification of foreign nationals and illegal immigrants and the deportation is agreed upon, and they will deport them. That was with ANSAM. That was not done so. And regarding the NSF, there are 4 memorandum of understanding. Only in 1996 it was with NSF. Rest of them with it's either with ANSAM or with United Naga Council. Now on the parts of UNC, not willing to discuss. I think this is very misleading on the part of our minister, because first, just recently, last month, on 15 November, Ministry of Home Affairs, because the state government seems to be incapable of creating a conducive environment for dialogue and discussion, Ministry of Home Affairs invited them for discussion on 15 November. Manipur government failed to send a representative, and after that, this arrest took place. And right now, I wanted to appeal for the ease of, for the collective interest of everyone. Let's not polarize. Let's not politicize. If we really wanted to debate on which party should come back to power, let's focus on development issue. Let's focus on job. Let's focus on infrastructure. You talk about so much of works in hill area. I'm so sorry. Manipur has ranked number 2 in terms of cross-enrollment ratio in terms of higher education.
No, I'm talking about relative development.
If you look at the higher education, there are 72 higher education institutions in Manipur. Please check how many of them are located in hill area. The oldest hill government college is located in Ukhrul district, called William Pettigrew College. Please check how many of them are permanent. Only 4 of them are permanent faculties. Registration is less than 200 every year. So I'm so sorry. The development is in fact going backward. If you look at the road condition,
sorry to disturb you, Siro, it is time up. And regarding this small and clarification,
can I have the last word?
Johnson, Gasai post second, I can talk see MAC, the government, state government invitation to like the Koti have problem. The answer should be from this ruling government Congress side. Please take your time.
No.
Shortly.
I will not take time. Last word, I gave a call. It has been very well. The debate has gone on very well, and I think debate is important, because we in the government also, we are also learning through these processes, and this discussion will help us also to do what we feel in our own perception. Perception ki wani akoi na tawjeri bathok to so koi kyu dulo tawjegi. But last word, and I see, you cannot do a job when your hands are tied. खुद से पुंजलकांदा कनो तौबदी यारो है अखोई यूएनसी की वारीदा हुजिक मसा हाईवे की रिपोर्ट तुदा मसा की डेवलपमेंट की अदुदा की वारी की थबक ना ये प्रमाण होइना लाकदो ने मदुदी अतोप अतोप फोरम में लौजरगे क्या हम तौबी क्या हम तौबी अदुगा असोइबा कदाइदा कॉलेज में तो फजना तौरमदबा तुदी इंफाल मनुंग दसु अदुगुंबो केस में आम लेबे याय सब डिवीजन नमा फंक्शन तौई तौदे हाबदुदी मदुदी इवन नेशनल कैपिटल दिल्ली दबो फंक्शन तौदो मयाम यावी अदु मेन कोर इशू दी आई कनो हाइजगे दी हुजिक अखोई मणिपुर वाब सिचुएशन अमदा लैय अदुना मसी कितंग मसीदगी कितंग अखोई राइज तौबो ngambase both civil society, both government in the ruling with the opposition taudu darkar ama lay haibasi appeal se mai government society tausani adu at the same time अखोई ngasa haibiriba party di अखोई मणिपुर government se yaw yawdana ada मणिपुर all government of India ga ministry of home affairs sum sanaba adagi moiga sum wari sanaba अखोई na kaim khangdaba ceasefire की करी हाइता रे framework agreement पु हाइदा सु और otherwise कोई cease work कोई territorial limit जाउदा न थाइना मयाम अमा लई रे issues मयाम अमा मसी कोई stakeholder कोई ओइगदो main ओइगदो state subject नि law and order से state subject blockade से state subject ने blockade तो खोली बसी कोई state government दी BJP की spokesperson कोई accuse तो बिरी बा मसी solve तो दे दो दा तो हम थोई dissolve responsibility अदा कोई कमाई तो दो दिगे whereas कोई खुद लोइना टाइट तो रे लोइनमक अखोई वारी सानबसु यारो है अदो दिल्ली चलगा वारी सानरगा अखोई दी स्टेक होल्डर सो होइदना कमाइनो मसिदा हाउ कैन दे एक्यूज पॉइंट अ फिंगर ऑफ एक्यूजेशन टू अस व्हेन दे आर नॉट रेडी टू टॉक टू अस दे आर नॉट रेडी टू वेलकम अस they are not ready to open their gate. No. Please don't get into all this.
Okay, tamo yare. Okay. Siro lakpuso siro. Thank you. And tamo hai Chandra. aduga oja nimai chandra oja Elangwon Johnson thank you all just participating in this debate and making this discussion a complete one. Once again, thank you all. ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇꯗꯤ ꯏꯝꯄꯦꯛ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯍꯨꯠꯅ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯅꯕ ꯇꯥꯟꯖꯥ ꯌꯧꯔꯛꯂꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯝꯗꯝꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯣꯛ ꯋꯥꯊꯣꯛ ꯀꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯤꯛ ꯆꯨꯝꯕ ꯔꯤꯄꯣꯔꯠ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯏꯝꯄꯦꯛ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯁ ꯃꯤꯠꯌꯦꯡ ꯇꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯌꯨ
Of course.